With a budget of less $250, traveling along through 3 countries.
Can I really survive? This is my first international flight ever, and I'm beyond excited. First, my outbound flight was a random mystery ticket costing $29. Including the return flight, the total round trip cost is $153.
现在已经登机了，但是非常不幸的是，其实我的座位是 A， 旁边也没有窗户。但是好消息是，我边上好像没有人哦。Maybe 我可以躺着睡。
Nice.
为什么我的飞机还没有起飞？为什么？I finally arrived in Singapore. The first thing I did after landing was get breakfast. I picked a small place inside the airport recommended by people online. 筷子有吗？没有了，好像。前面档口拿，前面档口都有。好。This bowl of fishball noodles cost me about $4.7. The food was simple, nothing fancy, but it worked. Do you think this is worth the price in Singapore? I arrived early, so the airport was quiet and the waterfall wasn't over yet. OK， 现在是早上8点半，我们现在在樟宜机场，但是喷泉要10点钟才能开，所以我现在还什么都没看到。Still, Changi Airport felt incredibly comfortable. The greenery, the lighting, the space, everything felt intentional. Not flashy, just well designed. I especially liked the glass elevator slowly moving through the green space.
Floor 4. Door opening.
Technology and aesthetics coexist naturally here. Water is expensive in Singapore, so I checked the supermarket price was almost double compared to home. But if you look carefully, there are still affordable options. OK， 春水最后花了2块钱。At 10 a.m., the waterfall finally opened.
Welcome to Jewel County Airport. As we start off the Jewel Rain Vortex, here's wishing you a day of sparkles ahead.
哎，你好，想问一下地铁站怎么走啊？
地铁在第2航站楼，您需要上楼，这个方向走到底，小火车到第2航站。这是T1。
哦。
哦，
谢谢。
Every time I look at flighting boards, I get a strange feeling like the whole world is within reach. Before heading into the city, I took the SkyTrain through Jewel. Passing right by the waterfall felt like a movie scene. Next stop, Chinatown.
Yes, close. Pity hand. You want to press, right? You want to press. Okay, stand up first. Stand up first. This one cannot anyhow press. Okay, you anyhow press after you go somewhere else. Okay, so anyhow.
Singapore's metro reminds me of Shanghai. Modern, clear, efficient. Chinatown was bathing. I garbaged another bowl of noodles, about $3.5. Simple but good. Walking around, the architecture clearly reflects the era's history. I arrived just after National Days, no fireworks, but the festival atmosphere was still here. Next, I headed to one of Singapore's most iconic area, Marina Bay. By the way, you can tap your Visa or MasterCard directly on the metro in Singapore, without getting a separate transport card. This is extremely convenient for short-term travelers. Inside Marina Bay stands small. There are indoor canals and small waterfalls with strong design elements. But when you're traveling along, many experiences are just for looking. Once you walk out the mall, you arrive directly at the Marina Bay. The weather was great with only light breeze. Skyscraper, the water, and the sky formed a very restrained and balanced sea.
他们这整个黑色的这种车牌都老粗了，然后都是。
As night fell, Marina Bay began to reveal its true character. As the lights came on, the shape of the city became clear.
看到这个小尖尖了吗？待会儿咱们就到这里，穿越到这里，上去给大家看一看。
I walked up to Marina Bay Sands SkyPark observation deck.
56, huh?
Right.
Good evening. Welcome to SkyPark. Enjoy your visit. Good evening. Welcome to SkyPark. Want to get closer?
From up there, almost the entire city of Singapore was visible. At that moment, I suddenly started thinking about myself. Maybe in the future, I will never stand at this height looking down at the city again. Here, I could clearly feel a gap, not just wealth, but reason, mindset, and control of my life. I didn't stay in Singapore for very long, but the impact it had on me was stronger than many other trips. I saw people already at the top of society still staying disciplined, exercising, and managing their time. I also saw many children switching naturally between multiple languages, speaking confidently without hesitation. Walking among them, I suddenly realized the world I used to understand might only be a very small part of the whole. As for which part I should take in the future, honestly, I don't have an answer yet. But in that moment, one thing became clear. The world is much bigger than I imagined. After leaving the observation deck, I headed towards Golden Mile to catch a night bus to Kuala Lumpur. And this one since one to Rome.
的备用机没电，我的流量卡绑在备用机上，相当于我现在是断网的状态，我联系不上任何人，我现在还在走夜路一个人。你看到我后面这个夜路这么黑，我没有跟着导航走，因为我本来以为这个能直着过去，为什么它要拐弯？我后来发现它中间是条高速路，好像就不让过，然后我就只能走这条很黑的路，
That was when I truly realized how dangerous it could be to be alone at night in a forest city without internet.
现在我已经上来了，没人。我刚刚走的时候，怎么汗毛都立起来了？看一眼，现在要走下去，这边有其他的人在，应该还好。
I forced myself to stay calm and walk toward areas with light and people. Eventually, I found my way back to the main road and safely reached Golden Mile.
好消息，已经过了这个桥了，我们已经走过来了。OK， 那我们现在一直往前走，其实就已经到了 Golden Mile。
This experience made me realize that traveling on a budget alone tests more than just physical strength. I took the overnight bus to our next stop, Kuala Lumpur.
I've arrived in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. It feels like it just rained. The ground is still wet and sky feels a bit grey. My first plan was to visit Vatican Square, but when I got there, it was closed off.
向尾部进去。
So, not the best start. Looks like I'll head toward the Petronas Towers instead. This is my first time really going through the streets of Kuala Lumpur. There are a lot of motorcycles here, which feels quite different from the places I've been before. The buildings along the road look old, like they've been here for a long time. From a distance, I spot a tall tower. I guess that must be the Kuala Lumpur Tower. As I keep walking, the buildings around me slowly become taller and more modern.
我觉得马来西亚还是一个比较现代化的一个国家吧。这块高楼非常非常多。Let me show you.
This is the Petronas Twin Towers. Seeing them in real life is honestly quite impressive. And for us, you can't really tell how tall they are. It's only when you stand underneath that you truly feel the scale. There are lots of tourists taking photos below.
看好多人在这里拍照。
Here, I met someone from China as well. We chatted for a bit and realized we were both traveling solo with similar plans. So naturally, we decided to de-travel earnings for the day. Near the Bangalore, the sky turns blue and the sun comes out. With the blue sky and sunlight, it really does look nice. We grab some food nearby and take a short break, then head out to Batu Caves. Batu Caves is one of Kuala Lumpur's most famous landmarks. It's a natural limestone cave and also an important Hindu temple. At the foot of the hill is the first thing you see. There's a long line of colorful stairs and a huge statue. The stairs are really long. And the higher you go, the more monkeys you see. And then, what I worried about actually happened. A monkey jumped onto my friend's backpack and stole stocks. Later he told me it was something he had been saving and didn't want to eat yet. Monkeys really know how to choose. Once inside the cave, everything suddenly feels quiet. The ceiling is very high. A light shines down from above, hitting the stone walls. It doesn't feel like a place that was designed for tourists. It feels like nature itself. That feeling is kind of amazing. From high up, looking down, you start to notice how many details were hidden along the way. On the way down, there are pigeons and more monkeys nearby. Some people feed monkeys bananas. They grab plenty in front of. It looks peaceful, but you're also middle. They might steal your things at any moment. We take the KTM train back to the city center. It's different from what I imagined. The carriage is clean, bright, and actually quite comfortable. Kuala Lumpur is known for its fruits, so we decide to visit a local market. The goal is simple, cheap and good food. Chocolate market feels very lively. So many stores, so many people, fruits, vegetables, cooked food, got the sounds mixed together. It feels very real, very local.
6, right? 8. 8，我看一下，8块钱的话是10块钱吧。
We walk around checking prices and passing snake fruit. It's my first time trying it. The skin is hard and a little bit strange, but the white flesh inside tastes quite fresh. There we try rambutan. The vendor is very friendly. I had this one already peeled.
I mean, 1 kilo. 1 kilo. 算，this one. 11. 1 kilo. 1 kilo. Hey, okay. I don't want. Okay. Okay, thank you. 11块钱。
We don't forget our final goal, durian. We find the durian stall.
30. 1 kilogram, 30 ringgit.
30。
Yeah, very nice. You see? Outside, this one selling for you. Outside. Yeah, only little half. I just selling discount for you.
他刚讲是30吧，30就是50块钱，20多块钱一斤，那个国内没区别。
Same like that. Can open, can cut here, can eat here.
25。
Now open the next one.
40多块钱，性价比很一般。
But after checking the price, it's that much cheaper than back home, so we skip it. Outside the market, we buy sugarcane juice. In this heat, one feels incredibly refreshing. We finish with the curious music from the street stall. On a hot day like this, it really hits the spot. After eating, we take a taxi back to the state.
我这个车牌怎么跟刚刚故事还有呼应呢？
Our one-day partnership ends just like that. No big goodbye, just a simple see you.
说再见很难，但是还是得说再见。
Because I have an early flight the next morning, I need to stay at the airport overnight. At KL Central, I run into some Java. I want to take a cheaper train to the airport, but all that there rides are direct trains. I tried several times and start getting confused about as well. Just when I'm putting a beach mask, a staff member who's about to finish his shift stops to help me. He walks me to the correct route and even call over another staff member who speaks Chinese to double check everything. It's something I won't forget. It really lets me feel the warmth and kindness of Malaysia. I take the bus to the hotel at night.
Yeah. Yeah. So 就是这样一个很小的房间，感觉没什么东西啊。
The room is small and simple, but it has everything I need.
开这个开灯，我空调怎么开呢？我空调有遥控器。哦，在这里。我这个好老实啊。
At that point, I didn't really care about carefully anymore. I just want to get some sleep. At around 3 a.m., I head back to the airport. Walking through the SkyPark, it feels like I'm the only one there. Inside the airport, there are already quite a few people printing my boarding pass. I'm heading back to Singapore for our layover. This time, I'm taking an extreme big challenge. Showing you around Singapore with a budget just 6 SGD. But first, food. It's nearly noon and I am running on empty. I picked this spot. Fried noodles and milk tea for 5.6 SGD. Honestly, in an airport where prices are sky high, this place is an absolutely lifesaver for budget travelers. Surprisingly, it tastes amazing, and the milk tea is super smooth. Fed and watered, I've got my free pass to the city, the official free Singapore tour. Let's go. I don't usually do group tours. I thought it would be a boring touch and go trip. But the guide was actually super engaging.
More than 6 million people, we have no choice. Yeah, we have to live one on top of another. Yeah, but there's still 5% of us that live like you from entering. Yeah, so what we see right below us are 100% rainwater. Yeah, one of the 17 water reservoir in its entire island country. Yeah, and now take a look to your left. They are now preparing for. Just came out, can you see an old street inside a shopping mall? Yeah, so this is how the Singapore government is trying. Parliament. Yeah, some people call it the House of Broken Promises. And that building happens to be the oldest European building ever built on Singapore soil. Yeah, built in 1826. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have arrived at our first stop, Marina Bay.
I totally didn't accept this kind of energy. I've seen clips like this online, but having it happen in real life, so cool. Singapore, I feel this love.
And for the merchants, they were traders. This is where we usually have warehouses. Yeah? So when you have warehouses, you need a lot of workers. Things literally will get you to Chinatown. Yeah? But this same area was originally meant for the Asian immigrant, largely the Indians and the Chinese. Yeah. Okay. So I have 20 minutes for you to see the Merlion. What you need to do, just walk here. Keep on walking down. You will see a bridge. Walk below the bridge. You will see the Merlion. Yeah. And after that, walk back. Come out here. I think, do you see that ice cream man? Yeah. Somewhere around there. If you need some ice cream, yes, you can go back early. Yeah. But please finish the ice cream before we get back to the bus. That will be before 1 p.m.
Now I heard the convenience store water here is a wallet assassin.
3块钱，15块钱一瓶水。15块钱一瓶水。完了，水要喝空的，不敢买。贵。
Yep, 15 RMB for water. Glad I did my research, or my battery would have been blown instantly. I might not be able to afford the water, but the view at Marina Bay are free. Snapped a few photos, totally worth it. Next stop, Gardens by the Bay. These super trees are honestly stunning up close. The guide was super dedicated, giving a long speech about his art installation.
What do you call it? There's a curtain. This is to ensure that the cool temperature can maintain. Otherwise, it's very hot out there. Alright? Okay, come this way, please.
To be honest, I have zero clue what the photo meant. But hey, I'm just here for vibes. Nodding and smiling is my best skill right now. Happy times fly fast. The tour dropped us back at the airport and it started raining. Felt like the city was saying goodbye. Watching the airport lift off, the 6th SJD Extreme Challenge was a success. On the flight home, I was shocked how fancy the economy meals was. Butter rolls, chicken rice, yogurt, and even jelly. For a budget traveler like me, this felt like a luxury feast. So good. Landed in Shenzhen. Since I have connecting flight, I applied for a free lower hotel provided by the airline. This set is 4-star. Let's check it out.
哦，卫浴，咱们先看一下卫浴吧。现在里面大镜子，超大的镜子，还 OK， 还可以。然后这里有浴巾、毛巾，然后这里洗澡。哦，这个玻璃还是透的哦，天啊！出来是也是面大镜，然后拖鞋。哎，这边灯在哪里开了？然后这边的话就是简单的2张床。OK， 看起来没什么问题。赶紧洗澡吧，我怕等下有人来。我们得赶紧洗澡，怕等下有人一起合住进来会很尴尬。OK， 出发。看一下今天的个人基地。
Going to Hong Kong is actually easier than I thought. There are tons of self-service visa machines in Shenzhen. You can just pick one, renew a permit, and it's ready instantly. Then you hop on the high-speed rail. You can scan your ID to get in. It takes only 30 minutes from Shenzhen to Hong Kong West Kowloon. It feels just like taking the subway. The train is clean, bright, with spacious adjustable seats and charging ports. Awesome! It was already lunchtime when I got out, so I headed straightly to a spot recommended online. I ordered an scrambled egg and shrimp rice bowl with an iced red band milk tea. It cost 70 HKD, a quick into Hong Kong price. But honestly, this Hong Kong style milk tea is absolutely amazing. The tea flavor is super strong and it's not overly sweet at all. Walking the street of Hong Kong with all the densely packed neon signs, I feel like I had time traveled into a 90s Hong Kong movie. These old buildings just give off such a cinematic vibe. This was my first time taking the MTR. You can add an octopus card directly to your phone and just tap to get in. Super convenient. Actually, you don't even need a specific octopus card. Any transit card with the China Tea Uniqlo logos works. It's even smoother than using a credit card. Taking the subway to the central, the vibe here is completely different. Looking up, it's all skyscrapers. Around me is elites in suits walking briskly. The air literally smells like finance. As a budget student traveler, standing in the middle of this felt like wandering into another universe. This overwhelming financial atmosphere brought me right back to my first day at Marina Bay in Singapore. The world is still massive, and I'm just a student with a backpack. But after the past few days, I don't feel quite as intimidated anymore. Moving on, I finally saw the legendary Bank of the China Tower, a landmark I've only ever seen on the screens. And today I'm finally standing right at its feet. Check. Making my way from Central to the Avenue of Stars, I finally saw the waters of Victoria Harbour. The weather was incredible today, and the water was a crystal clear blue. Feeling the sea breeze and looking at the bustling skyline across the bay, everything felt so cinematic. Strolling along the harbor was just so refreshing. And then my professor suddenly called.
明白明白。哦，是啊。对。
Sorry for the international roaming charges, Professor. Hong Kong's pace is so fast, and my one-day tour is already coming to an end. This was really just a quick glimpse. I barely scratched the surface. There are still so many places I haven't explored, and so much food I haven't tried. But that's okay. Regrets just leave something to look forward to for next time. Pro of the Orient. See you next time. Sitting on the train back to the airport, the short and crazy journey is officially coming to a close.
So， 我们已经来到了最后一站，那时间过得很快，香港之行也已经结束了。
At 21, traveling along with $215 I saved up, I've seen Marina Bay in Singapore, the Twin Towers in Kuala Lumpur, and the Victoria Harbour in Hong Kong. Honestly, before setting off, I was terrified so many times, afraid of messing up my visa, afraid of language barriers, afraid of missing my bus, afraid of completely ruining my first solo trip aboard. But having made it through, I finally understand. Do the things that scare you, and you will realize there is nothing you can't handle. This youthful spirit is a non-renewable resource. But no, I still don't have all the answer of my future. But I'm no longer afraid of taking the first step. The endless summer at 1 degree north latitude taught me courage and growth. Alright, that wraps up the entire $215 three-country budget trip seasons. If you enjoy honest, unfiltered travel stories, feel free to like and subscribe. It really means the world to new creators like me. I will see you at next stop.